Not since the answer. They don't like the gas. I go super duper. I go super duper. I go super duper. Hydrosonic.
I don't read, obviously.
Hydrosonic. First new branch of the U.S. Armed Forces in 75 years, Space Force. Not since the answer.
The sand was loaded up with blood. A lot of that sand is going to be loaded up with peace.
You can climb right over their face. Feel it, do them. Feel it, do them.
Like to kick his ass just once.
Did have a shake. Check. There it is. Okay, good. I thought it was out for a second. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm still trying to get the Facebook situation solved. They're very temperamental over there these days. One more second. We're just boogieing. It's all right. How's everybody doing? Come on now, doing it for the debate, baby. Come on, baby, don't you ready to go have a debate? Debate. Wiggy, whack. Hi, Audio Girl Jed. I have a fade out function. I do. Watch this. You don't believe me? Welcome to the show. Good afternoon. How are you? I'm your host. What do you think? This is pretty nice, huh? I do have that option. It's a little shorter than I would like. I would like it to slowly... Thanks, Eric. It was good being on with Stuttering John today. Talking to Anthony Scaramucci for the first time was a lot of fun. I would like the fade to be longer, but I have yet to find out the way to make that happen. Hey, Gonzo, how are you? Hype train a-coming, come on, everybody. Oh, yeah. So today... Obviously, the debate starts at 6 o'clock. I'm going to try and pipe Stuttering John in with me on his feed and do this kind of live. And I'm still working on getting him set up to do that. But in the interim, I've got to have a fallback. So I have a little bit of tech stuff to do during this little Yeah. So I'm going to be working on that, in between now and the thing. I'm just going to jump on for a short period with you guys now because it's our regular time and all that stuff. And thank you guys so much. Look at that. Time for 45 to get wrecked by Sleepy Joe. I know. This is, it's going to be fascinating. I mean, is he going to try and set off? Are you live streaming on YouTube? I want to make my husband on. Yes, I will be. It will be on HalSparks.tv, which will lead you to the YouTube page. Yes, Stuttering John will be there via string and tin cans. There's no question. Yeah. What's up, Richard McNeil? Choo-choo! Level 1 hype train. All right. Yeah, it's going to be good with the debate. I am going to try and watch it without too much overage, without pausing it. Will be the hard part, I think, which was where maybe the train comes off the tracks. But I have beverages. We will have snacks. Yeah, I have mate. I have my tea. Good stuff. I have to be honest. And how many of you had this thought today that the president doesn't show up and there's this weird trip to Walter Reed? That occurred to me a couple of times today. Not out of the realm of, possibility, I did you guys, anybody think that as well? I mean, honestly, I was like, I don't suspect that's what will happen, but since it's 2020, none of it would surprise me. Like, it's a little ridiculous. They had this whole thing of, here, I'll show you, if I can, let me bring up the Twitter feed of all these people on Fox News, talking about earpieces, talking about drugs, like all of theirs. It's so goofy. Like, they're all just throwing all this shit to the they're just making shit up to make it look like, Biden did not allow them to check his ears for special listening devices. By the way, if there's two candidates on stage and you have to pick one to be president of the United States, do you pick the one who somehow managed to have a microscopic high-tech device in his ear that feeds him the right answers so that he can quip and shoot and have facts at hand at all times during a debate? Or do you pick the dude who let 200,000 people die because he freeballs press events? I mean, it's an absurd question. Neither, Biden's not doing it. But I'm like, it's another example of how the Republicans don't even seem to notice that they are showing the weakness and frailty of their candidate with this stuff. Oh, it's definitely Motang mentality tonight. There's plenty of that going around. Don't forget.
Michigan gave us Motang, gave us Motown, gave us the Mustang.
Yeah, we will be hearing plenty of that tonight. Hold on. Fox News, drugs, earpiece. Yeah, so here it is.
Fox News learning dramatic new details on some last-minute negotiations now.
The Trump team asked to inspect the ears of each debater for electronic devices or trans.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Back up. Back up. This is so weird. Keep playing, guys.
Hour or so. Fox News learning dramatic new details on some last-minute negotiations now.
The Trump team asked to inspect the ears of each debater for electronic devices or transmitters.
So basically, the Trump wants his ears inspected before he puts in his listening device? Is that what we're learning?
The Biden team has not consented to that.
As far as the listening devices and the Biden campaign's response to that, I think that's interesting, and we're going to have to follow that through the day to, what comes out of that.
Things going
Yeah, here's what comes out of it. Earwax.
back and forth over issues like earpieces.
On the earpiece,
Why don't you just, why don't you go, does Joe Biden have wings? And let them go on and like, does he have wings? Is he going to fly into the debate? Will he be able to land? Is it in COVID? Are you spreading the disease when you flap your wings?
what's the truth? Does the Trump campaign stand by the fact that you believe that?
Does the Trump campaign stand by their complete and utter bullshit?
That the Biden campaign refused an ear check?
That is correct. They had agreed.
Yeah, that's a lie, by the way. No, they didn't. Why am I see-through right now? Hold on one second. I have to fix my... We can't have debate night being all wonky like this. Hold on. There it is. Control, I think is what it does. Yeah, there we go. Filters. There we go. A little better. Ta-da. Okay.
And then, by the way, this is unfortunately typical of Joe Biden.
No, Eric did not come out of the closet today, by the way. He was speaking, he was dumb speaking in someone else's voice. He's like the LGBT community supports this president very much. I'm a member of this community. I am a big supporter of him. Like, he's quoting them, but too stupid to be specific about it. Like,
we're just getting this news.
Although the footage of him holding Laura's makeup brushes has caused quite a stir about that topic.
The president wants everyone to look in the ears to see if there's a device in there.
Is he worried that if they look in his, they will see the other side of the room?
Joe Biden says no way.
Bathroom breaks, transmitters, and drugs.
An IFB that you and I wear.
Yeah, which is gigantic, and there's a big, like, squirrely wire that goes down the back of your neck, and you can see the little squirrely wire, the IFB, like you've got. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to see that from the angle. And here's the funny thing. Okay, God damn it. Look at this. Let me see if we can blow this up. You guys see what Brian Kilmeade is wearing? He's got like half a headset on his head right here or something. Like, yeah, an IFB like I wear with the string coming down the back and the pack that's associated with it. If you've ever seen, like, look at everybody, look at all the news people who've got, they talk to the control room or the control room talks to them through the IFB. Look at this big piece of shit on Brian Kilmeade's head. What if they found a way to get this smaller and stuff it into Biden's head? God damn.
That you can be spoken to by people off camera.
Wait a minute. So how do we know you're not just saying that? Huh? How do we know that anything that you say about business isn't just being fed into your fucking ear with an IFB then, eh? How do we know that little chunky 1995 half of a headset that's stapled onto Brian Kilmeade's ear right now isn't the only thing keeping him from saying hamburger, cheeseburger over and over again?
Now, so far, Joe
Biden
has not agreed to that inspection. What do you make of that?
What do you make of that? What do you know? No, he doesn't want anyone to see if he was wearing a fucking IFB. The kind I wear. The kind you can see from across the fucking room. Huh?
The Biden campaign did agree to have the former vice president's ears checked along with the president's.
No, they didn't. No, you don't get to dog and pony this bullshit. By
a third-party arbiter who would see if there were any electronic devices.
Have we checked Joe Biden's eyes that Tim Apple may have given him a certain kind of like contact lenses that provide him with a like beautiful mind screen of three-dimensional quips and ideas that the facts will be. It's like a virtual, possibly, we don't know, virtual teleprompter sitting there, you know, that he can use in a moment of weakness.
Devices in there.
The Trump campaign has been pushing the Biden campaign.
Don't say has been when you talk about Trump. It makes Mark Burnett upset.
For an ear check.
Trump campaign claims that Biden first agreed, then refused to submit to an ear check.
Yeah, they said that. That's how you know it's false.
Both candidates' ears for electronic devices or
Yeah, can we have a dick measuring contest?
transmitters.
Ethan Hunt-style transceivers that they might be receiving cues from the campaign from. Originally, they say the Biden campaign agreed to it, but then today...
By the way, that clip is John Roberts mocking the idea.
Backed off of that and said, no, nobody's going to be looking into Joe Biden's ears.
We're willing to submit to all of these things. Why aren't you? Then you've got the Biden campaign saying we're not. And so that becomes part of the narrative for today.
Yeah, but it just becomes part of the narrative for today. It doesn't have to be part of the truth or the reality of the entire situation. It doesn't actually have to be, doesn't really have to do with anything, honestly. What we need to do desperately is say a bunch of shit so that when Biden trounces Trump and makes him look like an embarrassment to humanity in this debate, then, you know, the facts that he had on hand and his awareness of policy and his ideas, all of those that he has, you know, a grasp of, there's got to be another answer. There's got to be another reason. It has to be, they're hitting him with a, thank you very much. They're hitting him with an elephant dart of Adderall and the limitless drug. When did the phlebotomist come out? Yeah. I have to Trump submitted to an ear check. Doctors confirm they could see the other side of the room. Sorry, I had to throw that one in there while I thought of it. It just the hashtag debate 2020. There you go. I want Trump checked to see if he's actually human. Will Trump subject himself to a diaper check? Hoping Joe Biden, let's see, sorry, I'm going to roll back and see what you guys said. Will you live stream the debates? Yes, I'm live streaming the debates starting at about 5:45 my time. Right before, we're going to try and get Stuttering John on here to talk to us and be on here with me. If technologically we can make that happen. How did they know the frequency to earpieces can be jammed? Of course they do. That's why Trump isn't wearing one. Poopy baby. Biden's already on the Lucy drug. He's going to turn into a flash drive. Totally. I hope and pray Biden has a good debate, as do I. I think it'll be pretty solid. You know, the hard part, you know, the big question is, will he lose his temper? That's the one that's apparently worrying all the other Democrats, you know. Yeah, fake news is definitely one of the drinking phase. Thank you, Black Richie Rich. Patreons assemble! Yeah. Hello? Give me the odds for Trump pulling out as his last diaper is full and they forgot the rest. I mean, I don't expect him to not be, I can't say pull out because it's gross. I don't see Trump not showing, unless he can make an enormous, publicity stunt out of this. Like, where is he? He doesn't show up, and then he, kind of David Copperfield's downtown, in front of a large audience that's made up entirely of Jews, black people, and soldiers. And that's all he's gonna, he's like, see, I like them, moment. I think he's gonna be there. The question is, if and when he's gonna be sniffing like mad, no question, because he's gonna be gacked out of his brain. But I also think, thanks, and Tucker. I don't think they're walking around. I think they stay behind their podiums for this one, which I would recommend. It's a little weird. Even the town hall ones, like, yeah, we know you can walk and talk. This is just silly. I'm curious, and as I'm sure a lot of people are, is like, the two wild cards in this are, Biden, does he mega gaffe on a detail? The only problem is that when Biden gaffes on a detail, if you correct him on the detail, he goes, really? Did I say that? I meant like we all do whenever we brain fart on a number or a word or a name or something. Whereas Trump will double down and pretend he meant to say that the whole time. And so I'm not worried about that at all. I think if anybody knows what tonight's going to look like, it's Bernie Sanders. If you look back at the debate that they had, Biden has a good grasp of the issues. And I think the issue is that, let Trump be Trump and have Biden be president should be the goal overall, and just, make, you have to dismiss him as a clown and as incapable. Yeah, Biden is actually self-aware. Yeah. So, we're all, I hate, doing some of the sports casting part of this, but this has become such a clown show, and I already know who I'm voting for. So a lot of this is, done with a, tongue in cheek, as it were. So we'll see. How do you think that not having an audience will mess up Trump? There will be somewhat of an audience. Yeah, somebody on Twitter just said #weigh in, right? Which won't happen. I think some of you might have seen, I posted this, but I just thought this was hilarious. And they changed the picture after I mentioned this. So I will take that as a victory, kids. So I just like the picture, so funny. Because here's Biden, he's like, ladies and gentlemen, America. He's giving a speech. It looks like a guy giving a fiery speech. He looks like a motivational speaker. And Trump looks like he's returning a fish delight at McDonald's. This is not, this is cold in the center. You can barely taste the carp, right? Yeah, so I'm like, that's his, and this is Fox Business's website. Holy shit, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, whatever this is. And they changed it, which I'm very proud of. I feel like that's where I felt like I had a real impact on one part of it. Somebody went, wait, this wise ass over here is making fun of our picture. So, yeah, it's a Filet-O-Fish. Trump calls it a fish delight. Some of you may know this. We've talked about this before, but for whatever reason, there is, yeah. Trump would eat all but the last bite and then try to return it. This was no good. He calls the Filet-O-Fish at McDonald's fish delight. And nobody knows why. Like, he just made it up in his name, in his head that was the name. And he's stuck with it all these years. And he asks people, when they go get McDonald's for him, he asks for like 3 fish delights. And there's no, it's, he has no, there's no root in it. There's no like, oh yeah, they called it that once. Yeah, it's a Turkish delight. Like a rusty trombone. Maybe that's the Russian McDonald's name for it. Wow, wouldn't that be a thing to find out? That would be hysterical. He is so weird. He is. It's just an odd, stupid thing. My father-in-law calls KFC Chicken Delight. There was a thing called Chicken Delight in the 70s. I think. It wasn't KFC, though. But I could see how it would cross over. Never has there been a Fish Delight, insofar as I know. It sounds really weird. Like, it sounds, you know what I mean? Like, who at a marketing team goes, I got it. We'll call it, Fish Delight. Like, it sounds like a cat food. Yeah. Not at all, Can't Stop Lying. Good to see you. Love you. Fear not. All's well. It's cool. Yeah, right. Don't cook tonight. Call Chicken Delight. Yeah, it was something like that. Right. Yeah, it's so odd. There's obviously lots of let's see what the debate stuff that's coming up in the hashtag, what's being thrown up in this zone. The Midas Touch ad about Rudy Giuliani is pretty brutal. I mean, they all kind of, like, we see a bunch of these. Hold on, I'll see if Pizza Man, Chicken Delight. Right. Something like that, right.
The man has dementia. There's no doubt about it. I've talked to doctors. I've had them look at 100 different tapes of his.
Look, wait.
Oh, he can't recite the Pledge of Allegiance, and he's fine.
One nation, under God.
I think he can't do numbers. Wow.
You couldn't even answer the last 5 questions.
Well, one of them was count back from 100 by 7.
He actually displays symptoms that 2 gerontologists told me are classic symptoms of middle-level dementia.
Donald Trump.
That's a classic symptom in the DSM-5 of dementia. He's got 8 of the 10. Maybe he's taken Adderall or some kind of attention deficit disorder thing.
And they're gonna say, this guy's really.
Who directed the December assault?
It's not just my opinion. It's the opinion of a number of doctors I've actually, interviewed.
Yeah, wow. I didn't even, the criminal ones and the Donald Trump one is pretty hysterical. Let's see. What do you feel like you have to accomplish to be successful in the debate? Okay.
Thank you.
I love the ad. Oh, yeah.
Just tell the truth. Thank you.
I mean, they really are, doing this whole, like, beat them at their own game thing with this whole thing. There's our beloved Eric Swalwell. Hold on. Not you, Scott. What are you doing? Love watching Rudy Giuliani, Jerome Corsi, and the rest of the Trump disinformation crew desperately spending their lives overtime to make excuses in advance for why Joe Biden is going to own real Donald Trump's ass tonight. Right. Chris Wallace should ask Trump about his promises not to golf, loser prescription drug prices, and giving everyone health insurance.
It's falling very substantially in the not too distant future.
Major drug makers, including Pfizer, have increased prices on more than 200 drugs nationwide.
I'm going to bring back millions of jobs.
More than 45 million workers across the country have filed for benefits.
We're going to end the government corruption, and we're going to drain the swamp in Washington, D.C.
And he's filled departments and agencies with former lobbyists, lawyers, and consultants who are crafting new policies for the same industries they recently worked for.
I'm going to be working for you. I'm not going to have time to go play golf. You can end up with great health care for a fraction of the price.
It's going to disappear. One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear. We have it so well under control.
But one thing I can promise you this, I will always tell you the truth.
Yeah, that Kayleigh McEnany said the exact same thing. Wasn't quite hold holding together.
Had more important things to do.
Sorry I'm late, everyone. Somebody tampered with my brakes.
Well, then you should have been early.
Hey, got you there, eh? Oh, come on, people. This man has promised round-the-clock trash pickup. That's impossible.
Not if we hire more men. And my men will do all your messy jobs. They'll wash your car, scrub your shower, air out your stinkables.
This is our pre-gaming at this point. Hey, the Trump tax returns have got their own video. The main event. This is the other thing too. Is like what? Look at the graphics on this. I gotta say, part of it is that it's easier to pick good pictures of Biden, but like it's almost like everybody is picking pictures to like, because this picture of Trump looks like the guy who played him in the Comey Showtime movie that they just had. Yeah, it's totally a Monday Night Football thing. Here's our running post on disinformation around debates 2020. There you go. So BuzzFeed's doing a run on all these to see which ones. Let's see, Russia, Adderall, earpieces. We're keeping a running list of false and misleading information about the first debate. There we go. All right. The false. Okay, here we go. Articles and memes falsely claim Biden asked for breaks during the debate and misleadingly said he refused to submit for an earpiece inspection. The source for the falsehood was a tweet that was later updated, quote unquote. False rumors were perpetuated by the Daily Caller, Breitbart, and a slew of other memes spreading across social media as part of a long tradition of presidential candidates being accused of wearing earpieces during debates, going back more than a decade. On a call with reporters, Biden campaign said, "It is completely absurd. Of course, we're not wearing an earpiece, and we never asked for breaks." NBC News has found a coordinated attempt to spread this message through a network of right-wing Facebook pages. Biden did not get debate questions in advance. That claim comes from a contributor to InfoWars, a website. Okay, so lots of that's no. A classified document doesn't prove Hillary Clinton planned the investigation of the Trump campaign's collusion with the Russian government. Okay, we've seen that. Giuliani talking about he's got dementia and that he's using Adderall. Yeah, which I mean, not surprising that that's where they're coming from on this at all. But yeah, is it true that Trump didn't want the COVID-19 death count mentioned? I don't know for sure, Gonzo. It wouldn't surprise me, although he has no control over that. Yeah. You ever see mic drop response Amy Klobuchar gave to Ted Cruz? Yes, I did. Is it? Yeah. Yeah, Biden's definitely going to bring it up. Trump just doesn't mention it anywhere. It's a bizarre thing. You know, he has this, you know. Did you see the crap that DNI released? Not yet. Is that new? Are they dropping this before? Yeah, it's hard to say. If I can find Frazier. What? Oh, I see. Hockey reference. Just yeah, I answered that. Yes, I did see it, Jennifer. Yeah. See, Michael Flynn's lawyer tells the court she asked Trump not to pardon him. Because he'd have to admit guilt to all the charges. Yeah. Oh, DNI Ratcliffe on Tuesday declassified a Russian intelligence assessment that was previously rejected by Republicans and Democrats on the Senate Intelligence Committee as having no factual basis. Intel chief releases Russian disinfo on Hillary Clinton. Yeah, the weird part about that one was this is the one This story is what you're talking about, right? The that Ratcliffe released this thing about. Oddly enough, it was let's see, the extraordinary disclosure released by Lindsey Graham earlier Tuesday rankled Democrats who said the move effectively put Russian disinfo into the public sphere in order to boost President Donald Trump's unsubstantiated claims about the government's efforts to investigate Russian interference. The assessment claims that Hillary Clinton, then a Democratic candidate for president, personally approved an effort to, quote, stir up a scandal against the U.S. President Donald Trump by tying him to Putin and the Russians, hacking of the DNC. But in his letter to Graham, Ratcliffe noted that the U.S. Intelligence Committee does not know the accuracy of this allegation or the extent to which the Russian intelligence analysis may reflect exaggeration or fabrication. They're pumping that in. This is a pump and dump of Russian intel into our politics, carried by Lindsey Graham. Because if he doesn't, he's in trouble. I asked about Ratcliffe's claims. Nick Merrill, a spokesperson for Clinton, said in a text message that the allegations were baseless bullshit. This is definitely a pregame. I'll be on for another like 15 minutes or so, and then I'm going to sign off and get the the setup ready for the actual debates. In his own statement, Graham asserted the accuracy of the assessment was irrelevant, but rather the question is, did the FBI investigate the allegations against Clinton like they did Trump? If not, why not? Because the accuracy of the assessment was that it was bullshit. And it is precisely Russian disinfo. That's the whole point. So, this was another one that came up in the news today that Biden's up by 9 points in Pennsylvania right now. He's going to Pennsylvania tomorrow, right after this debate, to do some speeches and a little bit of meetings with I would imagine there will be a spattering of unions, citizenry groups, representatives of Black Lives Matter or other groups like that, and different kind of roundtable sessions that'll be part of that, whether or not they stream them or not. But he'll be in Pennsylvania starting tomorrow. They're going to Wisconsin again as well. By the way, if you didn't see the Sexy Liberal show this weekend, you can still go see it. It's basically like a pay-per-view thing. It's on forever. So go to Run the World or actually go to sexyliberal.com and you can buy tickets there. Always a good time. If you're a Patreon, I'm going to be loading my part from it on my Patreon this weekend. I like to give it a week because I want it, we don't want to just undermine ticket sales for everybody else. So I don't want it to just be like, my folks can just beg out. Is it sold out? The $5 Patreon sold out? Wow. Holy smokes. I will expand it. I apologize. I didn't realize that was actually a thing. I didn't know I'd put a limit on that one. But I will add more numbers to that. The post-ABC poll shows the former vice president erasing some of Trump's advantage among key electorates, including blue-collar workers. Though Trump retains a 17-point lead among white voters without a 4-year college degree, a demographic that accounts for nearly half of Pennsylvania voters, that's down significantly from 2016, when Trump won the group by around double that. Biden's support among white college graduates and non-white voters is similar to that of Hillary Clinton 4 years ago. So that margin alone We're not talking about 24,000 votes giving Trump the state. I did expand the $20 Patreon, Gonzo. I did, in fact, do that. So, yes. So, while Trump won counties in western Pennsylvania, excluding what we call Pennsyltucky, a lot of times, while Trump won counties in western Pennsylvania, excluding Democratic-leaning Allegheny County, by 29 points in 2016, now leads Biden in those counties by just 3 points, 50 to 47. That's within the margin of error, folks. Imagine going from 29 points to 3 points. And that's an area he won. GOP nominee Mitt Romney won the region by 16 points in 2012. He's getting worst numbers, but still lost the state to Obama. But won that particular area by 16 points. Trump is losing to Mitt Romney. That's that's extraordinary. Biden is also winning among 2016 voters looking to pull the lever for a different party this year. The former vice president earning the support of 8% of 2016 Trump voters. Survey found 1% of 2016 Clinton voters said they now support Trump. Which, by the way, the quote-unquote 20% Clinton voters, AI call BS, but I would argue that unless they're checking the fact that, like, who they legitimately voted for, I'm going to get that those guys just flip-flop vote or are trolls. But it's still 1%. Like, that is nothing. Any margin when everybody talks about that's under 3% is like, you might as well shrug it off. I need Trump to lose so all these Trump flags get taken down here in central Pennsylvania. Right. They'll all be transferred into Trump TV flags. But on his handling of the coronavirus pandemic, which 18% of voters called the most important factor in their choice, 57% disapprove of the way Trump has handled the outbreak. 808 adults, including 702 registered voters and 567 likely voters in Pennsylvania. Results among registered voters have a margin of error of plus or minus 4.5 percentage points. And results among likely voters have a margin of error of plus or minus 5 points. There you go. Versus registered, because you don't know if they're going to register in time, even if they want to. So, yeah, so Biden's that's one of the primary stories that's showing up, leading into this. And of course, obviously, the tax issue is going to play in it somehow. It can't not. That 750 number. Some people who don't know, aren't on social media. Those folks might be hearing it for the first time. People who just watch the debates on television and only do that, which there's a thinner crowd than ever, but it's clear that Jackie Schechner saying, I'm nervous for Biden. I don't doubt he knows his stuff. I'm concerned for what Trump will do when cornered and how loudly he'll do it. Undoing his lies will be a heavy lift, and viewers watching a network not fact-checking won't get more than more of Trump's lies. I agree, but I think he's dealt with people like that before. Oh, yes, happy birthday to Stephanie Miller. That's true. Trump team did not want the death numbers mentioned. Again, I don't know how they control that. Truly says Trump is observing the old tradition of the candidate behind by 10 points gets to make wacko demands on debate day. And that's a huge part of this. Jeff Bennett's shouting a question at Trump.
Don't the American people deserve to know?
Getting ready for the debate. They got a bunch of
Mr. President!
sycophants waving him off.
Mr. President, who do you owe money to? Don't the American people deserve to know?
Right, yeah, no problem. Very Reagan moment for, for anybody following along. Yeah, this is the drinking game question that comes up. Sleepy Joe, Huge, the Wall, drug test. I don't think Huge is going to make it. I think fake news will definitely be a big one. That's, the Lincoln Project is saying Donald Trump emailed his entire list that he won the debate before the debate. I finished debating Joe Biden. Jared, really? He's sending it to his son-in-law? This debate will go down in history. I showed the American people that I will always fight to put America first no matter what, and I will never stop making America great again. Working to make America great. I know the fake news media will only report lies about the debate. And how strong our movement is, which is why I was really disappointed that you chose not to step up and help make today our best fundraising day ever. You've always been one of my strongest supporters. I can't win in November without you, so I'm giving you one more chance to get on the donor list that I see. If I don't see your face on it, it's gulag time. What an asshole. Look at that. Underlined this whole section. I was really disappointed to see that you chose not to step up and make today our best fundraising day ever. Will Trump fart on stage? Oh, no question. He does it anytime he pees, so I'm sure. Yes, hydrating with Hal. Thank you, Cosmic Rose. I'll Twitch or YouTube for watching the debate with you. That's up to you. I will be dealing more probably with the Twitch chat as I do. So I would recommend that. And obviously, YouTube is basically just limping by at this point. I'm paying attention to that chat room, certainly. And I will have my restream chat up the entire time. So I'm drinking yerba mate. Tea. Oh, I will not be watching on Fox, although we will be grabbing their YouTube stream and, so yeah, that is nuts. Dude is already Trump is already claiming victory and haranguing his followers for cash. C-SPAN might be good. Yeah, come on over to Twitch. The water's fine. Yeah, hang out with us. It's good. I will say that the pretty sure. See, I gotta jump up on there. View event. There it is. Now that came up. What shade of orange? Yeah, he may have pro makeup for this, so they may dial him back. No problem, Destiny. It's true. It's like getting a wedding thank you card that went viral and told the guests they should have given more money as a gift. I know, it's so gross. I just read a headline that Mitch won't debate if there is a female moderator. Really? Good Lord. First guy in history to bankrupt a debate. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Nomad, absolutely. Let's see. This over here. There we go. hopefully it opens. I don't want it to open that page, you drunk. What's wrong with you? Takes a minute to load, and then it gets a feedback of audio. And it have to, there we go, pause. I'm not getting audio feedback. There you go. There's a crazy amount, and by the way, let's see, I'll pop out the chat on YouTube, so I have that up and running for later. Yeah, this is a good place to hang out. We'll be all right for most of this. I'm going to sign off in like 8 minutes, and then I'm going to get everything in order, so I will hop back on at 5:45 to get ready to go. Feel free to have it on in the background if you want. It may be a slight, who will mod Harris Pence? That's a good question. It'll be a spattering of everybody. Yay, thanks for subscribing again, Jewel. I've been on Twitch since March, and we have less than 50 followers, and I wouldn't trade it for another. Oh, thanks, Sweet Pea. Yeah, you know, it was originally there as a backup, and thank God I thought ahead. You know, not having Twitch up and running already when I was attacked and knocked off of YouTube initially, obviously, you know, financially, it's a major hit because it turns off an entire channel. I can't monetize again until after the election, which is not an accident on their part. But in the meantime, if I hadn't had this as a fallback, I would have been, you know, it would have been devastating. I will say, for the record, that this should prove to you that were I ever to become an elected official, I would not be scuttling the pandemic response team or kneecapping our government's ability to handle future problems. If anything, I would shore up and look to areas where we could make sure that we're protecting ourselves from future unseen problems. You know what I mean? Like adults. See, it's kind of proof that I would do that. There you go. I appreciate you too, SJW Mod. Boo, villainous, boo. You think the consulting fees with Ivanka will specifically be mentioned? No, I don't think so, Billy Greg. I think Biden, you know, doesn't want to go after people's kids, and I think that's a good choice. I think Trump doesn't give a shit. So I think that will be, you know, it's a curious thing. I'm curious to see how Biden handles his attacks on Hunter, you know, whether he just goes straight out and says, you know, as soon as you present all the taxes for the organizations that your kids are running and any communications that you're having with them about what stocks to buy and sell around your no bid choices, both during the pandemic and before, I'd be glad to have a sit down conversation to you about what it means to have, you know, to separate yourself from your kid's business. You know, it'd be one of those things like, that's been asked and answered. I mean, you guys are welcome to look into this. Obviously, you have the DOJ trying to attack me, and they're welcome to continue to try. They will find nothing. I'm curious why they wouldn't look into why your daughter's products that come from China managed to skirt the tariffs. Why do other Americans have their products that are made in China have tariffs on top of them, but your daughter doesn't? I mean, that's a way to do it. Trump is going to try and get Biden off track to make him stutter? Very possibly. I mean, this is, you know, this is a big deal for Biden as well, because this is, in many ways, this is his first presidential debate of his life, which is, you know, no small thing. I mean, I think a lot of us would be, you know, nervous or anxious or excited or, you know, whatever. But it's also not his first rodeo in terms of these things. He's had lots of them. I bet Trump blames Biden for being on drugs during the debate. Well, according to this, he's already won. I mean, for real? For real. You don't think the Lincoln Project's going to notice this shit? Yeah, I'm actually just looking forward to watching it happen. I'm not so much worried about which way it goes or who's declared the winner as much, because I think, Biden, all he has to do is, make a joke about, apparently it occurred to Trump that it might help him to have an earpiece in, and then panic that someone might see it, so he decided to turn it into some sort of flailing attempt at, at a strike against me. They'll all be up, Andrea, so feel free to hang out wherever you like. Yeah, I think Biden's going to give Stephanie Miller a good birthday present. This is Victoria, BC. Hold on. Okay, so I'll sign off. I'm gonna sign off right now. Yes, I will be on during the debates. Welcome, everyone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign off now, even though this is our normal time together, and I'm going to come back at 5:45 p.m. my time, 15 minutes before the debate starts, and I'm going to try and pipe Stuttering John in so we both watch at the same time. I got to do a little tech stuff to make that happen, and then I will be. Carissa, did I get the Venmo right, Hal? I've never used that before. I'll wait to just pay a stranger. Carissa, I will look. Did you just do that? I got one from Gianni. Is that you in there? It's hard to tell when people have the names differently, but thanks. I cut my hair again. I gave myself a little more bangs. It was getting in my face. So I will see. I'm West Coast, but I will be on just wherever you are. I'll be on 15 minutes before the debate. It's live across the country. So it's 5:45 my time, 8:45 Central, 7:45 Central, and 8:45 Eastern time. We'll be on right before then. Oh, I'm not cutting the mullet. Oh no, but I may trim the sides a little bit to make it more mullet-like as opposed to just full. This is my hair for tonight, although I will be changing my shirt because I was working, and you can't smell me, but I can. I don't smell bad, but I could smell better. That is one of the weirdest things I've ever said, but it's true. Yeah, so I'm going to sign off right now. I will see you guys in a little bit. I'll be back. Join me. I understand, Billy Greg, you'll be in line. I will post this after the fact, too, on my YouTube page, both of them. So wherever you find it over there, it will be up to watch again after the fact, and will be, more entertaining than watching it by itself, I promise. So there you go. All right, we'll see you guys in a little bit. This will be good. I got to go figure out if I can make Stuttering John's computer work on this stream or not. So wish me luck.
I never realized how much my advice hurt people until my advice hurt me.
That was really cool, by the way. Winston Churchill stood on the rooftops in London, very calm, making speeches. Winston Churchill. I don't read, obviously.
Hydrosonic. They throw cans of soup. Not since the Roll up. Roll up. Roll up. Roll up.
It's not Irish. It's not English.
Oh, yeah. Well, what if we can't? It's for the horses and all.
It's just, well, it's just pikey.